Holy bejeeber jabbity jubin. Holy duck, what is this? This isn't Warcraft 3. What? What kind of magic is this? Oh, that's right. Fendis is gonna try to add another game to his channel. It might not be as popular, but it's a game I like, and that should be all that matters, right? I'm gonna do a quick little introduction before I continue this replay. This is the game StarCraft Brood War, made in 1998 or around that time. I don't remember. This game came out before Warcraft 3, and many of the things Warcraft 3 had actually came from this game. A little history that I have with StarCraft Brood War. I have been playing it. I played it before I started Warcraft 3. I started this game around 2006. I started Warcraft 3 around 2009 or so, so yeah, there's a 3-year difference. I still play this game online, not as much as I used to since I've pretty much up and moved to Warcraft 3, but I was thinking to myself, this game is awesome. And if this game doesn't get views on YouTube, it doesn't get views. I'm going to do a couple Brood War games and see how it goes with the fans. And if you don't play Brood War, feel free to watch for the fun, learn some stuff. I'm not saying you have to go buy the game this instant, as I'm getting high and courting for no reason. But let's get right down to it. This is a classic game that we have here. Whoa, right. I'm using a special browser because Brood War is not meant to play on widescreen. So, hold on. This is the button? Is this the button? Yes, it is the button. Alright. This ugly little bug race is called Zerglings. Well, Zerg. It's called the Zerg. And the stuff on the ground is called Creep. Think of that like Undead Plague. Alright? I didn't catch the name of the Zerg, but it'll be in the name of this video. And his opponent is spawning as a Protoss. Now, Protoss are these alien creatures that are very good with robots. Let's get some music up in here. Now, this game is Protoss versus Zerg. And that's the Zerg Overlord. He is the like farm of the Zerg. He gives them food and supplies and stuff. He flies around and he's a detector, so he can see invisible units. Now I'm gonna name off some similarities and differences in StarCraft Brood War from Warcraft 3. In StarCraft Brood War, there is 12 units in a hotkey group, and you still have the same amount of hotkey groups. And in, as it looks like he's putting down a pylon. And the supply cap in StarCraft Brood War is actually 200. And with the same 12 unit per thing, that's a lot of hotkeys you gotta be using on this game. I can't play with the music, it's too loud. For now it is. I'll figure this stuff out later, as this is my first attempt. Now, Protoss, they're kind of like undead. They can spawn buildings out of anywhere, but they can do it off of anywhere, as both these units are sending workers around the scout, as in StarCraft Brood War you need the scout. Now these Creep, think of it like the Undead Plague, as Zerg can only put buildings on it except for a hatchery, or if you want to think of it like a necropolis. Now in StarCraft, this is how you get your resources: mineral patches and gas geysers. Think of the mineral patches like gold you would get from like a gold mine. And think of the gas like you would get from wood, except it's just wood right there. Now, the Zerg is placing his hatchery. StarCraft is much more of a macro game, so you can pretty much get like up to 3 bases and not get a unit and be fine. But it looks like the Protoss is going to scout out this base here. Now, none of these players are like anything special. I just wanted to get this game to like help everyone learn what StarCraft is all about. As it looks like the Protoss is going to get himself a forge and try to wall off this area. Now, StarCraft is a much more macro game than Warcraft 3, and Warcraft 3 is much more micro-intensive. So that's something to keep in mind here. Now the thing about micro and macro, to me they are both a skill. They are both a skill, don't get me wrong, but they're a different type of skill. See, I myself am more of a micro-ish player. So Warcraft 3 is more my kind of game, but I can do macro as well. Alright, now this game is much older. One thing to keep in mind about StarCraft. Oh my, I got a phone call. One thing to keep in mind about StarCraft is you cannot take control of multiple buildings at once. So say you had 2 barracks and you wanted to click them both and it'd be like in its own little... Oh my god. I'm getting a phone call. Real life issues. No. Oh, that's personal stuff. Don't listen. Stop listening. Bad listeners. I'm covering the mic. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about I got a phone call. Alright. Protoss is getting a second base, like we said. They can warp in things. The gateway is like the barracks for the Protoss. It can produce like strong melee zealots or these ranged dragoons. Think of them like riflemen. And Zerg, their hatcheries, they like, think of it like teching up, alright? They like evolve. So it's kind of like teching up. And this may be a little boring at first, but I have to make sure you learn stuff for your first time Brood War seeing eyes. As both these players are starting to get his bases up and produce units. There's the Zerglings. These Zerglings are very weak creatures, but they are fast and you can produce a lot of them quickly. So think of them like the ghoul of Warcraft 3. I'm trying to find like a comparison between the two games. Alright, Protoss starting to send his workers out, make sure both bases are getting saturated. And one thing I'd like to say about the AI in Brood War is they are about as smart as a bag of rocks. The AI in this game. Does that mean it's unplayable? No, that just means you have to like pay more attention to your units and stuff when you're moving them across the map. Alright, the Zerg's getting a Hydralisk den with the Hydralisk upgrades. So that means he's going to be starting to produce Hydralisks, which is pretty much the riflemen for the Zerg. They are long range, they don't take very much damage, but they are pretty good against Protoss, not so much against Zerg. As another probe is coming out, scouting around, seeing what he get. Looks like he'll get a face full of Hydra. Oh, yep, there he goes. And Zerglings blocking off the ramp, very good job. Now the pro scene on StarCraft Brood War, it's not dead. It's not as populated as it used to be. Let's just say StarCraft Brood War used to be the thing to watch in South Korea. South Korea treated Brood War like China treats Warcraft 3. Let's just put it like that. Now both these players are macroing up. I don't expect some awesomeness game. Well, this game should be awesome, but I just picked a random replay to help you guys learn. Because it looks like the Zerg's gonna send out his Hydralisk, maybe try to push in here a little bit. But the Protoss has got himself a couple photon cannons, and let's just say these bad boys hurt. And the Zealot making a wall in, so no unit can get through. The perk to having a dumb AI is, when you're facing a dumb AI, oh, looks like Probe is blocking this third base for the Zerg, so he won't be able to put a hatchery. Well, now he'll be able to put it. There you go. Alright, looks like these Hydralisks are going to start moving in. I wish I could play with music. I'll try to figure it out, because I'm not sure if it's like, can't hear me when the music's on. Alright, Hydralisk with the ranged upgrade are attacking this warp gate. This Zealot should be able to come out in time. It looks like we're going to have a Stargate coming in for the Protoss. The Stargate is pretty much the air-producing thing. It looks like he's going to produce a Corsair, which is a very viable dropship. the gateway's down, so the wall's been destroyed. The Protoss has actually been playing a little greedy. He doesn't have as many units as he probably should. He does have plenty of cannons that'll help defend this, but here comes some more Hydralisks. Those Hydralisks need some melee to take some hits. Alright, cannons hitting. One Hydralisk goes down. And it looks like the Zerg's gonna try to pick and prod away at these Protoss buildings. Alright, Corsair is coming out. He's kind of like a spellcaster spell ship. Now, I will still be doing Warcraft 3 replays. The reason I haven't put one up recently is not that many great replays have been put up. That's the best replay I could find came from that Lucifer game I did. Alright, I don't see the Zerg being able to break this wall. It looks like the Zerg is teching up the lair, so think of it like him teching up the tier 2. Corsair, looks like he's going to try to do a little bit of harassment. There's currently now no units here. One drone will be out soonish. This isn't a high level game, this is more of a mid-ish level game. And it took me a while to figure out this, so I hope you all enjoy it. Alright, Corsair's coming in. See how many workers he'll be able to pick off. If anything. Oh, he's gonna get a face of Hydra. That's what he's gonna get. I think that was just a scout. See, I play Terran, which isn't in this game. Zealot legs being upgraded here. And ranged upgrade. See, I don't play Protoss, so I forgot. Corsair can attack ground. Derp. I derped. This one hero zealot right here, baby. More workers being produced. Protoss should probably get himself a third base sooner-ish, as plenty of pylons are being put down. Oh, I forgot to say about Protoss. Pylons give the Protoss their supply. And the thing about their buildings is it needs a pylon by it to be powered, or else the building won't work at all. So that's something to keep in mind. As Zerglings going around, scouting about, seeing what's up. And I promise you, as soon as I find a good Warcraft 3 replay, I will put it on there and cast it. But for now, I thought it'd be fun to relive some old games. Alright, we got 3 Corsairs coming out here. Scouting around, we got an extractor. Corsair picking off of that Overlord a little bit, but those Hydras do counter air. Getting Overlord speed, so the Overlords will go a lot faster. As you can see, they're quite slow. Alright, Dark Templar. I was hoping we'd see this. Dark Templar are invisible. They do a crap ton of damage, but they can't take a lot of damage. They are kind of pansies when they try to take a hit. But here's the thing about using Dark Templar against Zerg. Zerg Overlords are detectors, like I said at the beginning, so they can see invisible units. So I don't see this Dark Templar doing too much damage here, as there are Overlords pretty much everywhere the workers are. As a good Zerg should do. He'll be forced to back away. Protoss do have shield that do regenerate, so if he takes no health damage, he's pretty much at full health. And it looks like the Protoss is going to take his third base up here. About time. You don't want to be on 2 bases for long, as he's beginning to produce quite a bit of Zealots. Zealots do counter Hydralisk. Whoa! Alright. I'm sorry, I don't like to cough on the mic. Alright, here's something I gotta pause to explain here. Zerg Lurker. If you notice his little picture right there, he kind of looks like a Hydralisk. Zerg are these alien bug things that evolve. If you get a certain upgrade, aka a lurker den, as a building, you can evolve your Hydralisks into lurkers. Now lurkers, they burrow into the ground, and you need a detector to see them. And they like shoot these spikes out of the ground that attack your units, and it's quite a cool thing to see, so I kind of hope we get to see some damage done by this. I'm not going to get into details by who has this much food supply and stuff, because this video is basically, like I said, to help my viewers learn-ish, and I don't see too many people watching it, but it's always worth a shot. Dark Templar getting sent around. He's got plenty of Corsairs. Anti-air is definitely covered. Now here's the thing about it. He's got a butt-ton of photon cannons, and they are detectors, so they can see these lurkers when they're buried in the ground. But there is no detector in this area, so it looks like he's gonna burrow. Alright, here they go. Look, there's the spikes. Woo! Oh, the carnage. I just remember back then when I first played this game thinking that, holy shit, this was so cool. Ooh, Corsairs coming in. The Protoss isn't that great. I believe the Zerg will probably win this game. Dark Templar gonna see if he can do some damage. There's still an Overlord. Zerg Sunken Colony, think of that like the Zerg tower defense. Think of that like their tower. Alright, High Templar. These are the spellcasters of the Protoss. They have this spell called Storm, which lays lightning on the ground and shreds away at everything standing in it, including your own units. And if you have two Templar, they can morph into an Archon, which is these like beefy, short-ranged caster that has a crap ton of shield but no health. But he does a lot of damage. It looks like we're gonna have ourselves here a nice lurker arc, keeping this Protoss contained. And this Protoss is gonna need a third base soon as these mineral patches are beginning to run out. These High Templar can storm on the ground up here, and it will do damage to these lurkers. That's something to keep in mind. Protoss getting more cannons. Zerg going up to a 4th base, and taking up to the Hive, aka Tier 3 for the Zerg. Alright, one cannon does see a lurker, and it looks like this lurker will go down. One lurker goes down. More drones getting scattered around. Zerg. In StarCraft, you want a lot of bases, so if you're stuck on 2 bases, that's not the greatest thing to see, as it looks like we got Dragoons being made. If you played StarCraft 2, that's pretty much the Protoss Stalker. If you haven't played StarCraft 2, think of it like a Crypt Fiend or something. Looks like one cannon is in the range of this lurker. It's a bad day to be that lurker. These Corsairs are playing with the devil. These Hydralisks, get them. Zerg is at 1 damage upgrade, 0 armor. Protoss is at 1 damage, 0 zeal, 0 armor. And it looks like another lurker we took down as these cannons trying to keep these Zerg contained, but there's still quite a bit of lurkers out here. And these Hydralisks can morph into a lurker at any time. Alright, Zerg's getting a Spire. This is the air building for the Zerg. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. You see, these little guys are called larvae. They produce into any unit as long as you have the building. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. See, like that larva's turning into an egg and turning into an overlord. Both these larvas. This Zerg's got a nice little concave in, although that is a lot of towers. If you were a Warcraft 3 player, you'd be thinking, make like a demolisher or something, because that's what I'd be thinking if I only played Warcraft 3. Those Hydralisks won't win that fight. And if the Zerg keeps getting more bases and such, and getting more workers, he'll be doing fine, as the Protoss is at a limited resources right now, and he's beginning to run low. Alright, the Protoss is a shuttle. Think of this like a Goblin Zeppelin. Zeppelin. Picks up units and drops them off. And it looks like you put those High Templars in there. I believe that's a High Templar picture. You can't, like, click on them and see the name. But I believe those are High Templars, so we can, like, drop them, cast a storm, put them back in, do some nice shuttle micro. I said StarCraft isn't micro intensive. I never said there wasn't any micro in it though, and when you do see micro, it's pretty awesome. Alright, it looks like this drone might see this. No, the drone's gonna miss it, as the shuttle is not the fastest unit. Alright, that's what Storm looks like. And look at it tear through these Hydras. Storm does quite a bit of damage in both StarCraft Brood War and StarCraft 2. But Lurkers do a lot of damage too, so I'd move them back. I'd move those Dragoons back. See, look at that AI. See, that AI has just got those two killed. See? Look at that AI. I told you. You gotta pay a lot of attention to your units in StarCraft Brood War. If you thought Warcraft 3 AI was dumb. Alright, looks like we might see a drop here. Oh, those were Dark Templar, actually. That's a very nice drop. There's no detectors over here. And that's gonna be a lot of drones killed. You do not want to be losing workers. You do not want to be losing workers. Ooh, that's is he gonna snipe off the hive? Think of this like someone running in with raiders and sniping off your town hall. Oh, and I think he'll be able to do it. He has no units around. They're all at the Protoss base. Some Mutalisks go out, but Corsairs counter Mutalisks. Think of Mutalisks like gargoyles or something. Oh, and the hive's down. That's bad. He's gonna have to upgrade this base to the lair and get another hive. And he's killing off the Hydralisk dead, and he's killing all the tech buildings of the Zerg, and there's not much he can do about it. Alright, he's got a lot of overlords. Oh, is he gonna get the Greatest Spire too? Oh, this is probably like the drop of your dreams right here. And it looks like he's gonna move the Dark Templar off. See if he can hide him over here. Oh, that was a nice drop. That put the Protoss back on the map. The only problem for the Protoss is he's starting to run out of minerals. And the Zerg still has this little arc of lurkers and now some Mutalisks. Looks like these Corsairs are gonna say something about that though. There's no Hydralisk here, and he's moving his Dragoons out. He's gonna have to be careful with all these lurkers though. How's he seeing those? I think he has some observers somewhere. I guess those towers saw those cannons. Man, that's long range. Use the hold position button, buddy. Keep your Dragoons from going crazy. Oh, but that's still bad, and he's gonna have to produce another hatchery here. That was a very nice drop from the Protoss. See, look at that AI. Look at that AI. Oh, I remember this. I haven't played Brood War like online in forever. I've been playing the story mode lately. And it looks like the Protoss left the game, so the Zerg wins this. I'll just pause right there. If you liked this video, which I doubt you didn't, because, you know, I understand. I'll get more pro level. The higher level the player, the more, like, exciting the games will be. If you're new to my channel and this is, like, the first video you're watching, you should subscribe. I do quite a bit of stuff here. And I will catch y'all later. Oh, man. The mouse lock on this thing is weird. I think it's like